Good day to all of you. I'm Norbert Kamenov, and a warmest welcome to the new time on Silkway. Coronavirus cases in Kazakhstan are on the rise. 162 people tested positive in the past 24 hours. Another 38 were diagnosed with pneumonia with the symptoms of the COVID-19 infection. The Kazakh Health Ministry reports that over 1,200 residents continue to receive treatment for the disease, including 172 people in inpatient care. The beginning of the fifth wave of coronavirus has been declared in a number of countries around the world. In this regard, the mask mandate has been reintroduced, while health organizations are urging people to get vaccinated. The trade turnover between Kazakhstan and Singapore has reached 1.5 billion of US dollars over 10 months of this year. This was announced during the meeting of the Kazakh ambassador to Singapore, Askar Kutikadam, with the country's president, Halima Yacob. The head of the Kazakh diplomatic mission presented the Singaporean president credentials. After a solemn ceremony at the official presidential residence, Kutikadam paid a courtesy visit to President Yacob. The ambassador spoke about democratic reforms in Kazakhstan. Halima Yacob, in turn, reiterated her invitation to Kassym-Jomart Tokayev to pay a state visit to Singapore.
Проинформировал госпожу президента о последних событиях в Казахстане.
I have briefed Madam President on the latest developments in Kazakhstan, including the constitutional referendum in June and the presidential elections in November. I express my firm conviction that these historic events set a new standard of openness and transparency in the political process, proclaiming the necessary nature of building a fair Kazakhstan.
It's worth pointing out that only in the second quarter of this year, Singapore invested more than 65 million of US dollars in Kazakhstan's economy. About 120 Singapore-invested companies are currently operating in the country. The main areas of cooperation are transport logistics, business tourism, infrastructure, agriculture, and IT. As regards the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, the volume of oil in Kazakhstan through the CPC pipeline will be increased to 72.5 million tons per year. To date, the annual oil transportation capacity through the Tengiz-Novorossiysk pipeline system reaches 67 million tons. Recently, shareholders from Kazakhstan, Russia, the United States of America, Italy, and the UK have discussed the current issue regarding the CPC work. The company's representatives emphasized that the program is currently being implemented to eliminate bottlenecks in the pipeline system. The program started in the summer of 2019 and is expected to be completed at the end of the next year. Once it is done, the throughput capacity will be increased to the above-mentioned indicators, namely up to 83 million tons through Kazakhstan and Russia. As of November the 15th, the shipment of oil at the CPC Marine Terminal reached 49.8 million tons. 448 oil tankers have been loaded since the start of the year to mid-October. A hackathon for beginners and IT specialists was held in the Kazakh capital. The participants showcased the projects in the oil and gas industry. A total of more than 160 applications were submitted. 3 teams were recognized the best, since they had the most interesting technological solutions, the jury said. The first team presented a prototype in the form of a system for calculating the company's spare parts in inventory. The second one developed a solution for reserved employment for staff on a hybrid work schedule. The third one presented a road and transport analysis system using smart information boards.
I think today's hackathon was quite successful, and most importantly, these solutions will help us at the Karachaganak Petroleum Operating to tackle problems in the field of security, business processes, and efficiency. I hope that this collaboration will continue in the future, and we will work with local IT and startups companies.
2 more elements of the Kazakh cultural legacy were inscribed on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. These are the ancient musical art Urteke and the oral folklore of Kojanasır. This was announced at the 17th session of the Intergovernmental Committee held in the capital of Morocco, the Kazakh Foreign Ministry reports. 11 elements were previously included in the UNESCO representative list. with 4 out of them that directly relate to the Kazakh cultural heritage, namely the art of dombra kuy, which is the traditional Kazakh composition, kures, Kazakh wrestling, Kazakh traditional asik games, and traditional spring festive rites of the Kazakh horse breeders. We've got good news from the world of Kazakh cinema. The Eurasia International Film Festival is back after a 2-year pandemic-related hiatus. It will be held in Almaty from December the 12th to the 18th this year. The country's largest film forum and the only domestic film festival accredited by the International Federation of Film Producers Associations will be held at the Abay Kazakh State Academic Theatre of Opera and Ballet. The film screenings will take place in one of the largest movie theaters of Almaty. The organizers note that the entrance to the film screenings will be free for everyone. The call for applications is already open on the website of the film festival.
We have 15 full-length feature films from Europe, Asia, and the CIS participating in the international competition. These are films made in France, Italy, the UK, Japan, and China. That is about 20 countries in total. This year, the Eurasia International Film Festival is focused mainly on the national competition with 15 Kazakh films. Equal prizes are awarded for the first time, including 5 in the international competition and 5 in the national one.
Kazakh musicians won the hearts of Berlin residents. The German capital hosted a concert by the Dina Nurpiyisova Academic Orchestra of Folk Instruments from Atyrau. The hour-and-a-half program was dedicated to the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries.
The repertoire of the Atyrau Orchestra includes more than 800 works. These are not only folk compositions, but also world classics and famous movie soundtracks. The musicians have brought a special program to Berlin. They presented masterpieces of Kazakh folk music. The gala evening opened with Konilaşar Kuy by Turkesh. Then the orchestra played the famous compositions by Kurmangazi and Dina Nurpiyisova.
Das Konzert hat mir sehr gut gefallen. Ich finde, es zeigt.
I really liked the concert. I enjoyed the music palette of Kazakh national instruments and got acquainted with your folk music. It was a high-level performance indeed. Besides that, I was surprised to hear the Radetzky March. It was a very interesting interpretation.
Und künstlerisch auf sehr, sehr hohem Niveau.
The unique sound of the dombra, kilkubas, and sherter fascinated the audience. The listeners also highly appreciated the virtuosic abilities of the soloists, and the real surprise was the music of Abay. We brought world classics as well, for example a composition by Johann Strauss. We also played Goethe, Wanderer's Night Sun, which was translated into Kazakh and set to music by great Abay Kunanbaylı. This was our special gift to the German public. The audience was really impressed. It was our first concert in the Konzerthaus Berlin. The acoustics here are great. We are happy. Almost 20 compositions were presented at the concert. The final performance was by dombra players who brilliantly played the kuy tartış. The delighted audience gave the musicians a standing ovation. The orchestra stayed on stage and performed 3 more pieces as an encore. Next up for the orchestra is Germany's Hanover.
That's all the news we've got for you today. Make sure to stay tuned. I'm Norbert Kamenov, and I'll see you very soon.